How did you end up singing the Pokemon theme song?
All kinds of different places contacted me and said, what's the story?
One of the most famous songs ever.
This song is going crazy right now.
And the original tag was...
Catch him if you can! It became the #1 most viewed video on YouTube.
Wow.
I created a Pokemon Go theme song.
You created a fake jingle tape and you knocked on doors and that led to this. That's one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
The Pokemon ecosystem of people are probably in the trillions.
We ready to go on Daniel's walk, 'cause he be gone. Never to be heard, and never to be heard again. Never to be heard again, 'cause it's gone.
That right there is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who's been heard by almost everyone who has ever heard or ever watched a show, probably everyone in the world, at least in the United States and Japan, across the world, Jason Paige.
Gotta catch 'em all, Jason Paige.
The voice of a generation. I'm so excited to be here talking to you because your voice has just been such a huge part of our childhood, our adulthood, and our life. First of all, thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you, sir, for being here.
For anyone out there who may not know who you are, what are some of the projects and songs that people would know you from?
Most notable,
When you get nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, Pepto-Max,
Subway Eat Fresh. I see a little silhouette of a can. Mountain Dew,
time to do the slam dango.
and Legomania, which we're actually doing a remake of. That's going to be out very soon.
That's crazy.
With a full 2.5-minute version of the Legomania theme song to blow your mind.
It's not just all those songs, but I was looking into it. We also got Domino's.
Yeah, Domino's Pizza delivers.
You also were a part and recording of, I believe it's the 30th anniversary.
Yes. Protection from gangs, clubs, and nations, causing grief in human relations in
Michael
the turf war.
Jackson.
Yes, I was the rapper in black and white during the Michael Jackson 30th anniversary.
Incredible.
In addition to singing backgrounds for the whole show with the Jackson 5 and all the crazy artists that were in there in the beginning of that show, which was amazing.
And Aerosmith, is that right?
Aerosmith, a friend of mine was a keyboard player for Aerosmith. We started hanging out backstage, warming up, and I started going. I'm one of the original beatboxers before the current trend of dudes that are just blowing me away. I used to be the best beatboxer I knew, and now these guys are they got all kinds of. D-Lo is unbelievable, this guy. But I started beatboxing backstage with my friend who wrote Russ Irwin wrote the Legomania song with me.
Oh, wow.
He became the keyboard player of Aerosmith. We started rehearsing backstage. Steven Tyler and him are warming up. I show up, and they're going la ga ga la ga ga, warming up, and I started beatboxing during that. And Steven was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Oh my god!" Because people didn't really get to experience beatboxers that much back in 2000 and. Actually, it was 1998.
Wow.
When this was happening. So I've been beatboxing for a very long time. At that point, for at least 10 years in my bands and my own internal projects. So when I started beatboxing, he fucking lost his mind. He said, "You got to come out on stage and fucking beatbox during Pink." And I was like, yeah, sure. And he went, told the band, he was like, "You guys stop right here. And Joe, you just keep the drums going. And then you cut off the drums and let him do the beat. And I'll come over, get him a mic." And I was like, "What? Really?" He was like, yeah, we'll do it. And I was up there on the side of the stage thinking, oh, he's going to forget. They're not going to really do that. And sure enough, 25,000 people in an outdoor arena in Hartford, I think it was.
Wow.
He came over, handed me the mic. I went out on the stage. Unbelievable moment. And then it led to many more moments with Aerosmith beatboxing on the Howard Stern show, on WNEW, on some live recordings. And then every time Aerosmith would be in town, or I'd be in a town that they were in, I would jump on stage and beatbox.
Incredible.
Pretty cool.
But there's one song in particular that, brought you to this point. And that's the Pokemon theme song.
That's correct.
I want to know the story of what led you to that. And then I want to know, how did you end up singing the Pokemon theme song?
Well, this band that I had was called the What's Up the band, and we got dropped from our label, as most bands do. You know, back in the day.
People have
yeah,
been
yeah,
dropped
it's
from
a very common story. We retained the masters after we were dropped, and we started playing in New York City to try to build our following, and our following was building. The band kind of had some internal problems, broke up, and became a TV show. And that TV show on public access, Manhattan Public Access, was a huge, huge hit. And back in the day, there was 18 cable TV channels, and we were number 19.
It was like YouTube before YouTube, right?
YouTube before YouTube.
Wow.
Pretty much. All of the crazy jackass skits, weird real world stuff that was happening, you know, on our TV show is what the whole YouTube world manifested into. So Russ and I were in this What's Up TV show. We said, let's start a jingle house. Let's write jingles. We made a fake jingle reel of just products that we just made up. They weren't even 30 seconds. They were just like, you know, Evian. When you want the purest water you can think of, try Evian. And we had music underneath. We did a little.
Wow.
We made our own fake jingles, various lengths, put them on a cassette tape, and started circulating it to jingle houses. The jingle
Did you
houses,
just like drop them off in like a CD form?
knocking door, no.
Oh,
in
yeah.
a cassette tape
Wow.
form, pre-CDs at this point. Dropping off cassette tapes at jingle houses with this 7-song reel with fake commercials that we made up to show a variety of skills and styles that we could play. Russ is a virtuoso keyboard, can play any style, had a home studio, and we would be, you know, doing all kinds of styles on this tape, dropped it off, and then started getting hired by the jingle houses to produce some of these jingles. And then we landed Lego Mania, which we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna bring that one back very soon with a full remix that's 2.5 minutes. One of the houses that we worked at, Rave Music, had done the Domino's Pizza Delivers, and I'd done other sessions for them, and was hired as a singer for them, and they knew that my voice type was the correct voice type. When they got the assignment to do the Pokemon theme song, they called me in, and in the jingle world, everything is kind of like a paid audition, a paid demo, which is an audition for it going final. So they call the people in and make the thing sound like what they think it needs to sound like, with the proper metrics that are delivered to them by the company. In this case, it was catch 'em if you can. They didn't even have the guy to catch 'em all at that point. So we recorded Catch 'em If You Can and sent it back into them, and they went through their people, and maybe they even did some testing. I'm not sure, but the Catch 'em If You Can was eventually scrapped. We went back in and recorded the Gotta Catch 'em All, and then that became the TV show's chosen tag. It went on the TV show. The TV show became huge, and then they wanted to make a record, so they had to write a guitar solo in a second verse and re-record it and add a whole bunch of other songs to it. So all of the jingle houses went to work producing songs, including Rave, which is Paradise at that point. Also, the guys at New York Jam that we had done the Lego Mania theme song with, wrote one of the songs on the album, which was "I'm on the road to Meridian City." I gotta have my effects when I break into song. So New York Jam did Viridian City, and the Paradise Rave Music guys, Leffler and Sigler, who had written the Pokemon theme song and produced for the TV show, did the Pokemon extended version. And the rest is history. Oh, well, it's not history. There's tons of other things that happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Radio Disney picked it up. People started, it got on these videotapes. Millions and millions of these videotapes were distributed because that's how you distributed things that you couldn't instantly get on TV. The movie featured the song, and it started running in people's minds when they were playing the cards and when they were playing the games. And it became this phenomenon because of all of the imaginative process of all the people that were involved in the Pokemon ecosystem at the time, and the kids that were just hooked to this thing. And now those kids are grown up and they are creating content, and it's still cycling in their minds no matter how many other theme songs they replaced the original one with.
Which is crazy, by the way.
With like 15 or 16 of them. I recently watched a YouTube video of them, and there's a couple of them that are really good, actually.
Sure.
But
I
most
talked
of them
to
aren't.
one of the bands who did more of the recent one.
Cool.
Aerosmith. They have the song "Cool Kids."
Is it good?
I still need to listen to it. Because yours is in my head at all times.
Yeah, it's stuck in there.
I want to go back real quick because one of the goals I have is to try to tell the stories and like behind the scenes of the songs that really connected with us. So talking to all these people, we're trying to go back and put everyone in the mind of what it was like to be in these sessions and what happened and kind of go into more detail. So tell me about you walking into the first session and what happened.
The first session was, you get the brief. We want it to sound like a young rock kid. And we watched the Japanese TV show, clips of it, but it's not dubbed yet. So we're just kind of getting the vibe.
Because they didn't have a theme yet, right?
Because they didn't have the theme. Oh, the Japanese show did have a theme,
Okay.
and it was we didn't hear the Japanese theme. We're creating the English theme, but it was we were told it was popular in Japan, and here's what it looks like, and it kind of looked like go Speed Racer, go, and Speed Racer was my jam, so I was like, oh, kind of looks like Speed Racer, that kind of vibe. I didn't really understand what anime was, but the job of the jingle singer and the job of the human being, not just the jingle singer, is to invest themselves in every moment to its fullest.
Yeah.
Whether we're getting paid or not, we are here on this planet to go for it, to get as many views as possible, to hit the ball out of the park, to score that touchdown every single time on every single play. So in the jingle world, that's what's happening. What are we communicating here? What does the client want? And how can we best support the message that we are here to deliver? Just like, what is the message I'm here to support in your channel? I'm there in the studio going, all right, how do we make this the very best? And of course, the lyrics echo exactly what we had to do, which is to make it the very best. So that's kind of how I approach it when I go in. What do you want out of this, and how can I support you in achieving that goal?
For sure.
So we see the TV show, and we go in the studio, and we cut this thing. This 30-second jingle takes a couple of hours.
And the original tag was...
Catch him if you can!
Was it called a jingle at that time, or was it called a theme song?
It was a theme. We call it a theme, but, we're in the jingle world. We either call them music houses or jingle houses, but, we want an earworm that everybody's going to remember, and the tag is even more important than the whole song often, because it gets used over and over again, just like Lego Mania. That's it. Lego Mania, Subway, eat fresh. Bam, that's it. That's really what we want.
So they have that song and Catch 'Em If You Can. Mm-hmm. But they come back to you later to change it?
Yeah. Then I don't recall exactly how long. It was probably a couple of weeks later. Mm-hmm. The revisions happened, and we go in and sing the "Gotta Catch 'Em All," and we sing it multiple different takes, multiple different ways in the studio to give them lots of choices. I like to give them as many choices as they want.
You probably improvise some
and
melodies.
Improvise a whole bunch of "Gotta catch 'em all, gotta 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 catch 'em all." When they go through it, they pick the comp it, pick the ones they want, and the one that they picked was "Gotta catch 'em all." Basically,
I love it.
Yeah.
Working with those guys, did they have any notes for you at the time to change certain things? Did you come in and did you do any random any?
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of improvisation throughout. Every session.
Would that lead to publishing? That's just something I'm curious about.
In the reality of no, it does not, because it should. Okay. It should, but it doesn't, because it just doesn't. I mean, any more than I just did all these songs for you. Sure. I'm trying to serve the project, and that's not really part of the deal to stop and say, hey, before we do this interview, We got to sign this contract. I'm getting publishing for all the things that I've just created right here. For me, there is no reality. You cannot own music. Music is everywhere. 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 It's in our speech, it's in our tone, it's in our rhythms. So, though there is this thing called music publishing, it's really just borrowing from what already exists in nature.
For sure.
So, but yeah, in the real world, that would be a discussion that would have to be had before I did any improvs and before I did anything other than exactly what they told me to do.
This song, Pokemon theme song, Gotta Catch 'Em All, one of the most famous songs ever. And I was doing some research on this because this is actually really cool. There are over 1,233 episodes of Pokemon.
Right.
There have been over 24 different Pokemon theme songs. And this Pokemon theme song, I looked this up. Now, don't officially quote me on this, but online it said was only used in 79 episodes of the anime.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
For that many episodes.
Yeah.
This theme song to just live in the hearts of so many people. What does that mean to you as a singer after all these years?
That's the earworm. That's the thing that hooked them in the beginning, and that stayed with everybody throughout their entire lives. I think, when you mix it up too much, you lose people, and they really want to identify with this one song. And it was the right lyric and the right song to sell the show, which it obviously did. And then the show was sold after that, but the song remains in your head afterwards. Mm-hmm. And the song was also a big hit song in that sort of time period.
It ended up on Billboard.
It ended up on Billboard. It got its radio life, and that cemented it in people's minds. So after that, you just, it's like your first girlfriend. You always remember her.
Definitely. Is it true that you have a Pokemon theme song ringtone?
Yes. Gotta get that call, pick it up. Your phone is ringing, and Jason Paige is singing. Pick it up. Oh, is it your best friend, or your mom's calling again? Pick it up. Gotta get that a call for you. What the hell are you gonna do? Answer it or put it on mute. Pick it up. Gotta get that call. Yeah, very silly.
I love it.
Be a good thing for people to do. Have their phone ring, and with me, there's tons of people that phones ring and it is a Pokemon theme song, so might as well have some lyrics that make sense.
Have you ever been out and about and heard that?
I've heard not that one, but I've heard the Pokemon theme song come on people's phones when they when it rings.
That's funny.
Actually, I have, but it's my friends that had it, so not just randomly. It is available on my website. If you sign up for my newsletter, you get a free one.
I hear you're also creating, I don't know if you already have, but creating a 25th anniversary remix of the song?
Yes, it's in the works. We just did an EDM version that's really cool that I did with a DJ in the Netherlands named DJ Aino, AIN0. The Netherlands votes on, and they're voting, they just completed the votes so far, on the top songs of all time in the Netherlands, that is. And for the past 6 years since Pokemon Go came out, the Pokemon theme song is in the top 200. This year, I think it's number 140. And so the Netherlands is huge for the Pokemon theme song. The English version, not the Dutch version. So we did this remix with this EDM incredible producer, and it's out there. Everybody can get it and download it off of all the major platforms. Next year, I want to do one that, and I've already written the arrangements. That's kind of like a Bohemian Rhapsody type of version, with it just goes into the choral part and the rap part and the breakdown and the ballad part and the rock part and the anthem part. Like, I want to make the Pokemon theme song like Bohemian Rhapsody, because
that's sick.
I think in this world there's only a couple of songs that have this kind of an impact on humanity, and Bohemian Rhapsody is one of them.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you could compare this to anything else, but Bohemian Rhapsody is probably one of the closest.
What else can you compare it to? The Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't have toys and games and cards and TV shows and all of that stuff, but it certainly has this appeal that has lasted a very long time globally, but not as pervasive as the Pokemon theme song. I don't know if you're getting the Bohemian Rhapsody in kindergartens in the Netherlands, or in India, in small little areas, remote India, but you got Pokemon in those areas because they're contacting me to go to them.
So you sing this song in 1997,
98.
Comes out in 1998. When's the next time do you revisit the song?
I revisited it in 2012. Actually, I revisited it right before then.
Because there was a viral video with Smosh when they did.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, it was revisited by Smosh, and we saw that it generated YouTube's highest video count, with Smosh making basically the music video for the theme song that never existed, that I should have made. Instead, these two kids in their bedrooms made it, and it became the #1 most viewed video on YouTube, almost up until the point where YouTube sold to Google for $5 billion.
Wow.
I think it kind of broke their algorithm. YouTube just couldn't handle what was going on because it was such a great idea. Not Pokemon theme song by Smosh, but YouTube in and of itself. However, that was very much in part because of that stupid dancing guy video and the Smosh video that blew YouTube up. But yeah, that was definitely a moment of revisiting. I revisited it in 2000 and in the year 2000, when I think that was when 99, when it became a radio hit on Radio Disney, and it was playing every like 15 minutes.
That's
they would be
crazy.
playing it again on Radio Disney. It was incredible.
Is that the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
Yes, it was the first official time I heard myself on the radio. My band was dropped, so we never actually got the band on the radio, but yeah. But I had heard myself on TV many, many times from all of the jingles that I had done.
How involved are you with Pokemon from like 1998 up until now?
Zero involvement up until the Ron Paul, and I have no involvement with actual Pokemon, the actual corporation, only with the ecosystem and the fan communities and the Comic-Cons, which in 2016 when Pokemon Go came out, I started getting contacted by media organizations saying, who's the dude that sings what's the story, because the song was spiking on Spotify, new platforms and new sharing of this, and the kids that had it in their minds had finally grown up and wanted to know who I was. But in their minds, throughout their lives, they hadn't really had that opportunity. They weren't grown. They didn't have disposable income, and they weren't customers to media organizations and buyers of the products that are advertised. So Billboard, TMZ, CNN, Entertainment Weekly, all kinds of different places contacted me and said, what's the story? This song is going crazy right now. And I told them the story. Pretty much what I'm telling you today.
So everything from 2016 on was not with Pokemon itself, but with Pokemon as a community in a sense.
18 years of being trapped in a Pokeball. And I finally popped out in 2016 and started realizing this incredible ecosystem of creative people thriving in Comic-Cons and thriving in cosplay and thriving online with their own Pokemon channels and Pokemon music channels. And I wanted to create content for them because I thought, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. I created a Pokemon Go theme song. Those were some of the first people that were contacting me, people at Pokemon Go events that were producing.
Pokemon Go was massive.
Huge, massive. And they didn't know quite what to do, but they wanted me to be involved singing the song. So was like, all right, well, I'll sing the theme song at your Pokemon Go event, and I'll create another Pokemon Go song because there wasn't a good Pokemon Go song. There was that kid, I played Pokemon Go, horrible thing, but which of course is way more viral than my Pokemon Go song, which is excellent. You guys can check that out. It's an amazing sister to the theme song that it's doing all right now, but once again, 1 billion people have downloaded the Pokemon Go app, and only 300,000 have watched the YouTube video of the Pokemon Go theme song. So we got to get that one blown up on the Spotify and all of those platforms as well.
How does it feel that this community is kind of given you this platform to be able to, push the boundary of what's possible?
I have profound gratitude for the energy and effort that you have put into your Pokemon reality, and I'm just trying to catch up. I spent 4 hours almost 25 years ago, and you spent 4,000 hours. And I didn't know that I could invest in this ecosystem until 2016. It was a job that was a good job, a fun job that created something that was great, but I didn't understand it until I invested in your imagination and what you've experienced. And I have gratitude for your experience and your selfless joy, whatever you expend. I'm saying 4,000 hours. It might be more than that you spent on Pokemon as a child. And that experience of loving something as a child and then having the ability to carry it into adulthood is very, very rare. I can carry some of my Speed Racer enthusiasm, but there's not enough content for me to really be an adult and still be loving Speed Racer, or even like Matchbox cars, because I was very into the Matchbox cars and all those crazy tracks that you could build. But there's not enough content to bring that into my adulthood and actually create adult content about Matchbox cars. But the Pokemon generation is Pokemon. Pokemon puts out this thing, but then the generation of people that grew up on it and loved it really create the ecosystem. Pokemon may be $100 billion company, but the Pokemon ecosystem of people that are not associated with Pokemon in an official way are probably in the trillions of dollars because of the content they create and the peer-to-peer experience that they have with each other, the love they share, the trading. So I'm really just swimming in that love, and that pool of love is vast and varied and really beautiful, and that's the goal of any artist, of art, is to impact the world in a loving, positive, powerful way. And that intention is behind everything I do, in the same way that I'm intending that for this interview and your followers and your viewers to feel that from you. And that's your intention in your interview, to bring the best that you are to the world. So this is just it's an amazing thing, and it doesn't happen from one person or one jingle house or one writer. It happens from a billion people all investing their energy in something that they love.
Definitely.
To create value for each other. So I can't say enough. I mean, no amount of money is equal to this giant pool of love that's out there, and I can probably swim in it for the rest of my life and only see a very tiny percentage of it.
Incredible. And now 25 years later, they are kind of putting an ending or a wrap up towards Ash and Pikachu's story.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you're planning on doing for that?
I'm just investing more in the Pokemon ecosystem. Ash and Pikachu might be over for a minute, but Pokemon certainly isn't, and the theme song certainly isn't. And I expect that there are going to be more fan spin-offs of Ash and Pikachu moving on in ways that they should have a long time ago. And we're going to see a lot of great content coming out from people, and some of them may contact me to sing the theme song to the Ash when he gets his first facial hair, and when he gets married, I'm singing the song at Ash's wedding, and there's all kinds of stuff that's going to happen.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be incredible.
It'll be in VR and a metaverse of Pokemon-like creatures or something. I don't know. Lots of stuff is happening. I am here to serve many different many different companies, many different motives, and there's quite a few of them in the Pokemon ecosystem that are really beautiful.
I think it's very difficult nowadays to take something creative that you love and turn it into something that can sustain yourself financially, creatively, personally, professionally. Is there any advice you have for someone who wants to get inside of music or creative or anything like that?
I think at this point there are more tools for the creator than there ever have been. And I need advice from the new creators that are finding the tools like you are. My creative process had to go through the legacy systems back in the day, cassette tapes that we're handing out at actual jingle houses that we got to knock on the door.
Which, by the way, is one of my favorite stories. The fact that the way that this happened was you created a fake jingle tape and you knocked on doors to give them the jingle tape, and that led to this.
Correct.
That's one of the craziest stories
Yeah.
I've ever heard. You created your own success.
That's what the modern day Band Lab or TikTok and all of these new platforms are. They allow everybody to do it from their houses and not have to go to New York, knock on doors with video with cassette tapes. They can make their own content on their phone. So my advice is to use all these new platforms to spread the art that you love to make and do what you love so that you have enough energy to do it enough to build your own community of people that support you. And you don't need 2 billion people to support you. You'll need a very small amount of people to support you in your craft. And you can keep it pure. You can keep it close to your heart. You can keep it uncorrupted. Like the world has been for so many years, which is why we have so much great content coming out on these platforms, because people can do what they want in their private realities from anywhere in the world. And we're seeing it, and I'm stuck on it whenever I start swiping. I'm just loving this amazing, the singing, the beatboxing, the art, the creativity that's happening is unparalleled in history, because it's happening from so many people at the same time, as opposed to just in the creative centers where you'd have to move to do it. So, my advice is figure it out on your own, and then contact me and tell me what worked for you, because there's lots of ways to do it and lots of things are working.
I wanted to ask, because this is just something I'm curious about. What is SAG exactly, and how does it work?
When you get old, your skin just kind of hangs. It's gravity pulling on you.
That was so good. That was
I had to
great.
go there.
That was incredible.
The Screen Actors Guild is a way to protect actors from unscrupulous producers who will abuse and use actors. Back in the day, there were a lot of people being abused by Broadway theater producers, prior to TV and film.
Yeah.
And they created an actors union, and the actors union said, you have to get paid this much, and the workers have to have a break that's this long, and you have to have the proper whatever, all the kinds of safety things that need to go down, unions protecting people. I think SAG has over 250,000 members in the Screen Actors Guild, and only 5,000 of them make more than 50 grand a year.
Wow.
So most of those people are just trying to get work or getting just a little bit of work. Now that the world is spread out onto all the social media platforms, I think they're having a harder time containing the talent, because now it's everywhere. And they're not making as much movie money on the box office releases and stuff. But it's a way to protect actors from unscrupulous producers, basically.
And was that the main way that Jingle House session singers get paid, in a sense?
Well, like I said, there are auditions at first. SAG gives you if it's a SAG signatory, and they're going the SAG route, they have a demo fee that they pay, and that demo is just an audition for the final. When it goes final, depending on how often it runs, that's how they pay the residuals.
Okay.
And on what networks and how many people are supposedly watching those programs.
And was there a big push to kind of benefit the session singers, the writers, and people now? Because it seems like back in the day there was less willingness to give residuals for jingles and for
Back in
themes.
the day, there was more residuals. There was
Really?
mostly residuals because you could only put your commercial out on a major platform.
Okay.
So you would get the major platforms would all be governed by SAG and be harder to get it through if it wasn't a SAG project. But there's always people are trying to cut corners always and pay less money for more content. And that's just going to be how business is done, efficiency. I get called for sessions like the Muppet movie session where I sang "Life's a Happy Song When There's Someone by Your Side to Sing Along" in a group as Kermit, and then I sang "Life's a Fillet of Fish" as this character, and "Life's a like a lamb" as the butcher, and then "Life's a bunch of highs" as the the stoner dude, and
That's so cool.
all these different characters. So I'm an efficient way for a company to save money because I can do 10, 20 different characters
For sure.
for the cost of one dude, and those are SAG jobs as well.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to promote or push for?
Well, definitely look out for that Lego Mania remake, because that's going to be really cool. It's going to be and I wrote that, like I said, with my partner Russ Irwin.
Incredible.
And New York Jam, the Jingle House. And it will connect with people's childhoods again and give them that nostalgic feeling. And once again, go to my channels, subscribe, become a follower, and come see me live at multiple events that I'll be performing at next year. Collecticon, the best con for Pokemon card collectors. I'll be at all of those. Vanilla Ice will be performing with me, and Steve Aoki is now slated to be
Wait,
at
that's
a couple of
crazy.
those as well. So, just keep sharing the song. Let people know I'm the dude. You can go to my website and you can get autographed materials and other things like this autographed base set unlimited pack that PSA actually slabs and authenticates, which is really cool. And any other cards that you want, you can send stuff in. People send in all kinds of crazy items for me to sign, like these Pokemon room greeters. Which, well, the batteries are dead, but from 1998, it goes, "Gotta catch 'em all." And,
That's your voice, right?
Yeah, it's my voice on there.
Amazing.
And check out the Sea-Watch, the old school Sea-Watch. That used to play the song before the batteries died on that one as well. But
One of my
Cool stuff.
goals is to get like the full behind the scenes stories of the Pokemon theme song. So thank you so much for being a part of this. It means
thank
the
you,
world.
man. I'm really glad you were here, and be the very best like no one ever was.
And this is a thank you for you.
What?
The air tag didn't come in time, but
What?
early on we had this thing called "What's in the Bag."
Oh, yes.
It will
Look
be
at
coming,
that.
and I will get it for you.
I need a keychain. Check me out.
Wow, I didn't know that's sick.
I'm just like, yeah, there we go. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate
And
it.
you can read that on your own time.
All right.
I just want to read it now. Thank you so
dude.
much.
Excellent. Catch them all, you guys.
Catch them all.
And we're out, and we're out, and we're out, and we're out.